As far as we're at the matchbox, starting our class now. And let's just begin by taking the roller. We are going to use the roller today. Also, the magic circle, which if you don't have one of these Pilates circles or rings, they call them sometimes, think about getting one. They're inexpensive and a great tool, but you can do these exercises without using the circle. I'll just explain as we go along. So we're going to begin by laying on the roller on your spine. So you'll be supported from head to tail. And if you're going to use the magic circle, you could also use a ball in between your thighs. But you could use the magic circle here. And go ahead and lay yourself all the way down, supporting the head, supporting the tailbone. And here, just extend the arms out to the side, float them off the ground. And whether you're using a ball or a magic circle, you're going to squeeze the legs in to feel the inner thigh engagement, and then exhale, move it slowly. So press into whatever it is you're holding here between your thighs, and then exhale and try to imagine that you're resisting the opening of the spring of the magic circle or of the ball, and extend outward into your legs and you push it up. And exhale to release. So the arms outstretched, you can put the hands up so you feel the weight of your arms helping open your chest wall here, and the blades coming to wrap around the roller beneath your body. Open, and again, inhale to press into the circle, and exhale and gradually expand. Try to feel a little bit of resistance here. And now we'll do a 2-breath pattern. Inhale to squeeze. Now exhale, hold the squeeze. Inhale, squeeze it more, and then exhale and open. And we'll do that again. Inhale to press in to the ball of the magic circle. Hold it as you exhale, just deepen the belly in towards the spine. Inhale, squeeze again, and then exhale, release, and pull that apart. One more. Inhale to press. Exhale, belly deepens as you exhale all the air you can out of your lungs. Inhale, press again a little bit harder, and exhale to expand. Good, then you can just hold the ball or the circle here between your legs, keep a little bit of engagement. And we lift the arms up, hook the air over your chest. Exhale and pull the arms open and down. Inhale, arms rise, embrace. Exhale, pull the arms apart. Lift again. Exhale, the blades hug the roller beneath your body. And one more. Inhale, arms rise. And exhale and release. So now we're going to take the magic circle or the ball and take it between your hands, between the heel of your hands. The fingers reach up. Squeeze it just a little bit. And now shrug the shoulders up and exhale, pull the blades down. You lift and exhale, release. Arms rise, the shoulder blades come off the roller, and then sink the blades down around the roller, keeping the arms straight. Keep a gentle press in with your arms. You have like this isometric feeling of engaging the inner arm muscles here. And one more, with the arms up as high as they go, and exhale, pull it down. Great. And then we'll just put this to the side. And here, take the arms long at your side, fingertips to the floor. Inhale, lift the arms up to the ceiling, and exhale back by your ears. Bring the arms forward, and exhale, glide them long and down at the side of your hips. Reach out to the end of the mat. Arms lift on the inhale, and exhale back. And then forward, and exhale all the way forward and down. Rising again. Stretch back, lengthen the waistline, open the chest. Push the arms forward and down. Stay steady for your feet on the mat. We'll do one more like this. Gazes up and maybe even slightly back so the throat is long. And then drive the arms forward and come all the way down. And here, bring your hands to your shoulders. Circle the elbows up, out, around, and down. Inhale, lift. Exhale to circle. Lifting here, exhale, around and down. One more like that. Complete, and let's reverse. Circling back, in and down. allow the scapula to move, the shoulders to roll here on the surface of your roller. Go the elbows out and be sure you're rotating the upper arm bone. You're not just holding it in the same angle, the same aspect. Doesn't stay to the ceiling the whole time. One more. And then extending arms forward, reach long with the fingertips. We reach up and then back by the ears. Exhale, circle wide and around. Turn the palms down at the end of the movement. The arms lift up and back. Exhale, circle wide, sweep forward. Your feet spreading into the floor so you're steady on the roller. While you move the arms in unison, mirror images, one arm to the other. That helps keep your balance here on something that wants to roll and throw you off onto the floor. So reach it up, stretch behind you, exhale, circle around and forward, and then let's reverse. Palms up to circle out and back. Exhale, dive forward and down, and then palms up to circle, reach back. Exhale and press. Two more like this. Push the arms down, reach out long, and one more time. Exhale here all the way forward and down. Good. So we're going to slide off of the roller here. And let's do the hot jog exercise next. This will be right to your core and your inner thighs. So you can fold the legs into tabletop, take the roller between your knees and the arches of your feet, parallel to the ground. And then lift yourself up, come to your upper curl. If you don't have a roller, of course you could just, or don't want to use it, you can just press the legs together. And then what we're doing, pull the neck long by lifting the head, look down at your abs, and slide the roller forward, trying to keep it parallel to the ground. Feel the increasing engagement in the low abdominals. Don't let your back arch, and then exhale to pull that roller back in towards your head, towards your chest. So you reach out, you squeeze the roller between the legs, fire up the inner thighs, and exhale and pull that back. Try not to fall flat as the roller reaches away. As the legs reach away from you, be aware of the increasing weight of your legs. Plus, the roller is heavier than you would think, even though it's made out of foam. The further away you reach it, the heavier it gets. So pay attention, you're not going to where you normally would take your legs. Check that you stay focused and aware of how this feels in not only your abs, but also your back. And then we pull it back in. We'll do one more. Put it forward, reach it away. Exhale, deepen the belly, come a little bit higher to your upper roll as you pull the roller back. And then we can take the roller and place it aside. All right. And then let's stretch the legs forward for roll up. Here, if you have a ring or a magic circle, use it. You can also use a ball between your hands or hand weights. So when you hold the magic circle, you hold it at the heel of your hand, the fingertips lift up, and then you want to squeeze from the armpit, not from the hand. We're not bending the elbows to squash it. We're using the straight arm engagement to feel a connection from your hands to your lats, serratus, and external obliques. So let's bring the arms back, whether using weights, a circle, a ball, or nothing at all. Bring the arms up, start to lift the head, neck, and chest. Exhale, back here, squeeze the circle as you're lifting the ribs off the ground. You're gonna get an assist in finding the wrapping into the external obliques. You can release it slightly at the end of the movement and then start to go back. And I would squeeze the circle again as you start to lower the spine down. Work your spine down, each vertebra one after the other to the floor. Stretch the circle behind you, the arms behind you. Maybe release and then squeeze again. Lifting up, exhale, squeeze in harder, which gets the difficult part of lifting the rib cage up off the ground. Diving over your legs, stretch the back around the front of your body. And then we're taking it back. Arms higher, more difficult. Finding press into your accessory here and then come all the way down. Let's do one more. We should also remember you could also be using a TheraBand around your legs to help you maybe find more articulation in the spine, more work for every inch of the horizontal fibers of your abdominal wall. So come down, take your time, come all the way down, and then we'll put the circle aside for rollover. So here, folding the knees into your chest, extend the legs up and out on a diagonal, soft point with your feet. We bring the legs down a little bit to your working level, bring them up and overhead. Exhale. Oh, I got stuck as I was talking. And let's do that again. So up and over. Open the legs, flex the feet, and then work your way down. Switch out your back. Pull the legs closer to the torso. Press the legs forward. Reach out. Close the legs. And we're going up and over. Open, flex. Down we go. Press into the arms to resist the return to the ground. Go forward with the legs closed. Go up and over here. Exhale. And lift the tail in the air. Up and back. Open, flex. And down we go. We'll do 3 more. Press the legs forward. Close them. Open them. Point the feet. Go up and over. Flex, close, and down we go. Stretch legs forward, reach out apart. Push the ground away. Close, flex. Lengthen out through your heels. Pull the body into the ground. And then reach out again. Like up over here to lift. Close, flex. And work your spine down. Come all the way down. And then we can hold the left leg. Reach hold of your fair bend for your right foot. So we can bend the knee, place the band on the foot. Extend the leg up. And anchor your elbows close to your waist. Get a stretch to the back of the leg. And first off, point through the foot. We're just going to lower the leg forward and down. Reach out to tap the heel to the ground. Exhale and lift it up. Give it a little pull here, a little tug here. And then forward again. Press it out long. Exhale to lift. Come to the top of the movement. 1 more like that. Lift to the top. Get an adjustment strap. Rolling off my foot. So now here at the top of the movement, inhale, point, exhale, flex. Roll through the foot. Articulate through this movement. And every time you pull the toes down and lift the heel up, try to drop a little weight into the sits bone of that leg. So you really feel that stretch into the calf as you're working here. We're going to end with the point and begin the circles. Inhale across the body, exhale, go low, out to the side. Hold the left side grounded, lift the leg up to the ceiling and reach again. Circle around, down, and then up to the sky. Pull the leg over and across, sweep it low. Out to the side, drag it up to the ceiling, and again. We're going to stop at the top here, pause for a second, lengthen, stretch the hamstring, and now exhale, rotate. You push the leg out to the side, forward, across the body, and up to the ceiling. So reach again. Push the air aside as you move your leg through it. Heavy on the opposite side of the body. Right, we want to keep the pelvis grounded and level here on the mat. While you're working the leg and stretching it, it's just as important to find the work in the core, hold the body steady as it is to stretch the leg. So at the top, let's take both ends of the band in the right hand and move the leg out to the right, left hip stays grounded, and then rock the leg a little bit back and forth here. Exhale to pick the leg up. Switch hands, cross it over, extending the arms. Reach out long, rotate the leg internally. Feel the stretch diagonally across the glute and into the upper outer thigh itself. Your right shoulder stays heavy on the mat. So does the shoulder blade. And then we exhale, we pull the hip down, lifting the leg up. Give yourself an extra little stretch here for the back line of your leg. And then fold the knee into your chest, the band comes off. And we can slide the right leg into the left one. You can feel how that really relaxes the right lower back. Now that we've given the psoas a little bit of a stretch and a chance to release. So here we go, we're pulling the left leg in and place the band on the ball of the foot and the arch. Lift the leg up. And first here, you find the stretch, the other leg lengthens on the ground. The left leg soft point, and we're gonna lower the leg all the way down, tap the heel down, exhale to lift it on up. So the length in the back line of your leg, and then reach again. It draws an arc in the air straight out of the hip socket, and then lifts the ceiling. You're tracing a line up the wall to the sky. And then again, one more time. Go longer each time. Try to push the leg away from your torso and then bring it on up. Leave it up. And now point and flex. Heel ball toe, and then the toe ball heel. To get as much mobility in the joints and the muscles of your feet. Make them more flexible and articulate. We're going to end with a soft point and lift the leg again. And now start your circles across the body on the inhale. Exhale all the way down, around, out to the side, and up to the sky. So breathe through it. Short inhale, long exhale. The longer the exhale is, the more you'll feel the abdominal wall contract at the top of the movement. Remember to rotate the leg internally as it crosses, externally as it goes out away from center. It's neutral at the top and the bottom of the circle, and let's do that again. Exhale all the way around. Empty the lungs at the top of the movement. Let's reverse, out to the side. Exhale, around you go. Right side is heavy before the leg moves left, and then the left side drops deep into the mat before the leg moves to the right. You can press through the upper arms also to help you stabilize. But anything that touches the mat, you feel it sinking into the floor, like it's welded there, so that you stay more stable on the ground. One more circle. Enjoy the stretch. Push the air side, move through it. And now the left hand pulls the band. You open the left leg out to the side. Give it a little bit of a rock here. Feel the stretch in the upper inner thigh and maybe all the way across the front of the pelvic girdle. As you exhale, we'll pull the leg up to the ceiling, switch hands, and now cross it over. The left arm extends, you can look at that hand, stretch long to the leg. Give it a little internal rotation here. The left shoulder blade still heavy into the floor, press it down into the mat surface. And then exhale, lift the leg, pull the hip down. You bring the leg high, and then you can fold that knee into your chest, the bed comes up. Give it a little hug here, and then let's roll forward. Sorry, let's take the leg forward first, because we do want to feel the change that we just accomplished here. So then pick a leg, any leg, and pull it into your chest, and we roll forward and up for rolling like a ball. You can take the ball between your thighs, or not, and then hang on to your shins, elbows wide. Bring the pelvic tuck and upright curl. Try to give a rounded curve back. Inhale, lift the tail, roll your shoulder blades. Exhale, coming up. So we keep both ends of the body, the feet and the head off on the mat. Pull your spine to your shoulders. Come back up and balance point on the sacrum to the tail. So you roll as you inhale, you exhale to lift forward. And let's do 2 more. You always want to be sure you have enough padding under your back that this is comfortable for your spine. And that can vary, right? Depending on the person's spinal position. If you lose some weight, sometimes you need extra padding. If someone has like broken their tailbone, like had a client break one in a sledding incident with his kids, and he had to have more padding after that for a while. In any case, let's go into the ab series. So right hand to the right ankle, left hand to the right knee. Pull that leg in. Take your time. Articulate the spine down and push the legs away from you as you come down with control to your upper arm curl and pull the knee in tight. Inhale, let's switch the legs. And exhale, switch again. You know, you move down your nose, at your abdominal wall. You watch the legs float away and come back in. But you're keeping your gaze low so that your chin is tucked in and your head can stay high. One more, we're going to end with the left leg in and then pull the right leg to meet it. Take those double legs and stretch them up, the arms up. Circle wide with the arms, embrace the legs into your body and you stretch. Exhale and curve everything in. So you reach the shape open like a hammock and pull yourself in like a ball. And one more to lengthen away from your center. Come all the way home or scissors, right leg up and left foot forward. And we inhale to switch and exhale to switch. It's still going to be very tempting to look up at your feet, try to look down at your navel. Reach as high of the leg as you can. It'll help pull your chest forward. Using your abs and your arms, help you maintain that upper curl. But of course, when you release the leg, you have to rely on your abdominal wall. We'll end with the left leg up. Bring the right leg to meet it, hands support the base of the skull. Lift your head, bend through the chest. And now inhale the legs lower forward and down. Only go as far as you can feel the support from your abs, and exhale, lift the legs up. Remember your psoas, your deep hip flexor muscles along the spine are paying out toward the legs and then engaging to lift them. We don't feel that initially. You might feel it eventually if you really focus on and think about it and understand where they are and what they do. But it's easy to feel the abdominal wall. It's more superficial. Try to work to hold the pelvis steady against the movement and weight of your legs. Let's twist to the right. And then to the left. Come forward, up and around. Balancing here on one of the tips of the scapula. Or actually the tip of one of the scapula. Hips really got long, pull it in tight. We'll do one more set. And to the left, back to center. Lay your head down, the knees into your chest. And then we'll roll up to sitting for spine stretch. Now here, we're going to have a couple of options. You could use the ball between your legs with your hands pressing onto the ball, and then as you go forward, the ball would roll up under your arms, and then you would pull your spine up and the ball would roll back under your fingertips. Or if you have the magic circle, you'll take the magic circle between the legs are wider than the circle or the ball for that matter, and you're resting, so hands are on the floor, and then your hands go on top of the other handle. So as you lightly press down and lift the chest, heart is high, and then as you're going over, you start with the head, you curve over, you bend the elbows wide as you come forward to press into the circle and feel the lift of the abdominal wall into your spine, and then slightly press. We keep pressing into the circle, but you're lifting it. You find a little resistance as you come up all the way and look at the horizon. So push down to go taller first for the length of the waist. Look down, and as your head goes out, over, and down in a beautiful arc and a curve, you slide the elbows forward, they bend wide, and you squash the circle down into the ground. Feel that work into your arms and into your upper abs. And then keep that connection from your hands into your center. As you stack the spine, you're still pushing down with the arms. You want to feel the lift of the body. You feel that, see how it sort of intensifies your connection into your core. It's a different sensation. Going over and down. Diving here. Pressing down low. And then you're coming up slightly. Stack your spine. The circle will give you a little feeling of lift, but also a feeling of connection. Okay, and then we can put this aside. Open leg balance. Come forward to the front of your mat. And your hands between your legs. Easier would be hands on the outside and to the thighs. So first, your feet are lifted. Join your balance point on your sacrum. Extend the right leg up. Stretch, and then exhale. Hold the leg down. Pull the heels together, and now the left leg extends. And exhale and pull it back. Right leg up, shoulder stays easy, down your back. Exhale to lower, another left. It rises here. You draw it back down, both legs. Then lift in a narrow V, and exhale, pull down. You may want to, as the legs extend up, slide the heads around a little bit behind to the outside of the lower part of your calf muscles, and then come all the way down. So extend the legs here, reach. Hold that balance point, come back, arms inside the knees. And we take it up one more time, get ready to roll. So look at your abs, curl the tail up, round the low back more. Inhale, lift the tail over your shoulder blades. Exhale, come forward and up to that balance point, and rock again. Trying to hold the arms straight. The legs as well. And curve your spine. Use your breath to help you. All the way up on that exhale to balance one more time. Then we close the legs once you're at the top, leave it in the air, and then we roll the spine down, either walking your hands down your legs or hands free, curl the toe up, try to hold the legs at the same angle in the air, come all the way down, lift the legs here. So let's grab your magic circle, or you could put a hairband around your feet as well. And then here, we're just going to do, first, before we do the corkscrew, tip the legs over to the side, press down for your opposite hip. So I'm going to keep my left hand on my hip bone as I take both legs over to the right. And then exhale, come back to center, lifting the right hip, switch hands. And then right hand to right hip, try to keep pushing it down as the legs go sideways. So you're not going to be able to go very far without the hip lifting. So press down, use the movement and weight of the legs to increase the feeling of work in your oblique abdominals while you hold the pelvis steady. And then come back into the other side. Now you'll go further if you've got something supporting the leg than you would if the legs were free. And then exhale back. Now here we can hold, again with the right hand holding the circle, and now lift the left hip up and over. Exhale, pick the right hip up to come back to center, switch hands, and now we lift the right hip to take the legs over to the left. Exhale, pull the left hip up to bring the legs back to center, switch hands again, right hand on the circle, pick up the left hip, whoa, and then exhale, pull it back. And then take it over again. Back to center here. You feeling this in your core? That's what we're looking for, is that ability to control it. And come back, good. The circle of the airbag can come off. And we're just gonna circle the legs over to the right, reach them forward and down, over to the left, drag them up to the ceiling, and let's go to the left. Exhale, try to hold the pelvis level again by pushing more weight into the opposite hip. Over to the right, exhale, around, don't go so low that your back arches. Feel the control from the abdominal wall to strengthen your psoas muscles and just circle around. Get a little bit of a massage around the edges of the sacrum on those SI joints. One more set, first right, lower to the left, up to the ceiling. Bend your knees if your hamstrings are tight at the top of the movement, straighten them everywhere else. And then we come to the top, fold the knees into your chest, and we roll forward and up for saw. Coming up and open the legs. Elevate your hips if you need a little assist to make up for tension in the back of your legs, and the arms extend out. Inhale, push the arms down, go up through your halo. Exhale, rotate to the right and dive. Left hand crosses to the outside of the leg. That arm reaches behind you on a diagonal. Twist and look behind you towards your hand. Coming upright, center, and spin to the left. Back of the right hand connects to the outside of the left leg, somewhere along the foot, the ankle, the calf, the thigh, whatever works for you. And then come upright, center, and spiral twist again. Then over to stretch. It's not just a hip hinge. You want to lift the belly into the back of your body, into the spine, coming up, center here, and again, diving over and down. Lift, come up, center, and then lower the arms. And then we can close the legs together. And we're going to use the magic circle here again, or a roller underneath the swan. So we've done a lot of the swans in these classes with the roller. Here, extend this magic circle out in front of you at arm's length. Bring the hands edge to edge on top of the roller, ears between the arms. So you're going to press the magic circle down, pull the chest up, lift the heart through, and bring yourself down. As you lift the weight out of your hands a little bit, still connecting to the circle, but not pressing firmly down into it. So we're going to lift the head forward, the chest forward, push the circle down so you can lift up through the upper body, stretch in the abdominal wall, and then release yourself down again. Come all the way down here as well. One more like that. You can see it gives you a lot of assistance for your triceps and your lats, and then bring them down. Just push the circle down, and then come up into a child's pose. Rub your back, stretch out your spine, let your head hang. And then we're going forward onto our forearms for single leg. So you press the forearms into the ground, pull yourself away from the pelvic girdle here. You're going to feel a stretch in the abdominal wall from the pubic bridge, really up all the way to the throat. And then let's kick the right heel in, pulse 1, 2, and down on the left, pulse 1 and 2, and down on the right. Double B. Stretch out your quad with every pulse. Chest is high, heart's lifted, collarbones extended. Try to think of the scapular tip sliding together and down towards your tailbone. We'll end with the pulse to the left, lay the legs down, and then lay your chest down, turn your head to the right, lift your on the mat, overlap the hands on the back, and then drop your elbows. Deep breath here, inhale. As you exhale, kick feet to both legs. Hold 1, 2, 3. Push the feet into the ground, arms to the back. You're going to let the fingers lift the chest up and come down, looking to the left, right cheek to the mat, and then pulse 1, 2, 3. Pelvis stays heavy as you press it into the floor. Coming back, heart is high. Remember, if you can't intertwine the thumbs without bending the wrist of the hand, just bring your arms back behind you. Come down and move right. And again, you're stretching out the front line of your body with every hip. Feet to the ground. Keep them there as you come up into your cobra, into your swan. And then come all the way down. Drop your elbows, hands high in the back again as you pulse. Pump the air out of your lungs. We end here, coming up into that lifted position with your chest, feet still on the floor. Lower down, hands by the armpits, push back into your child's pose again. Hang your head low, and then stack your spine bottom to top. Now for neck pull. So this is a more difficult version of the roll-up. So if you prefer to do the roll-up, that's another good option here. Feet are flexed and a little bit apart, maybe 5 inches, 6 inches apart. And we'll start sitting upright, bringing your hands behind the waist. So hold the head up to like the neck and the rest of the spine. And then you hinge down with the flat back first. Push the feet forward. When you need to, tuck, look down, put the elbows forward. You can even send the arms forward slowly to lower your spine, 1 vertebra at a time, 1 inch at a time to the ground. Now, eventually the goal would be to keep the hands behind the head, but that is extremely difficult, particularly if you don't have a strap on your feet or weights on your ankles. So just do what's right for your back. Now to come up, press your fist into your hand. Exhale, lift your body over. Take your hands behind your head when you can, and then pull the neck long enough down as you stretch your spine over the space by your legs. And then stack your spine bottom to top, come all the way up. And again, you lean back here, push out through your heels, butt back until you need to curve and roll down all the way to the ground. And then we can come up, do it in a straight line from one elbow to the other as you push fist into hand, dive over yourself, curve your way over. And of course, you can always do this with a bear band. So you're doing the band after you stack your spine up. You keep that neutral spine as you tilt back, right? But you get to a point where that's not safe and your back will arch too much. And then you tuck, look down, roll your spine down. And then you would just come up and roll up, pull the elbows wide, pull yourself up, dive your head over, and then the arms can go back even as you dive forward with the head. Try to pull the head away from your hands, and then stack your spine bottom to top. So the bear band makes it much more manageable. if it's in your practice on a regular basis, you'll be able to do it eventually with the hands behind the head, both directions. If you're out of practice, do all the modifications that work for you so your body feels great in the exercise. So we're just going to go down and then move into the shoulder bridge. So lengthen up through your neck, lean back here, lift the legs away, exhale, tug, curve your weight down, all the way to the ground and the arms at your side. And of course, I know I've told the people here in the class this before. So when you work in a Pilates studio, usually through the beginner intermediate work, and actually the studios all have these Pilates professional mats that have straps for your feet on the end of them. And the mats are so thick, they're usually on some kind of a board background. So that if you're doing an exercise with the legs extended, with the strap over your feet, you've got a lot more connection to your core, you've got a lot more support for the movement. So you could do a lot of these movements sooner with better form on a mat like that, using like a yoga mat or a Pilates mat on the floor without anything over your ankles. Makes a lot of the exercises much more difficult. So kudos to us all for doing it here. So anyway, so here for shoulder bridge, feet are grounded, arms lengthened at your side. Begin with the pelvic tuck. Pull the knees forward, lift the hips. As you come up, we're going to press down to the top of the shoulders, roll a little bit to the outside of the arm, lift the sternum up, and use your glutes to push the hips up in the air, your hip extension and thoracic extension. Eyes are up and slightly back. And then just roll to the inner arm, curve your way down. Slowly pull your spine down, 1 inch one vertebra, rolling from the top of the rib cage all the way down to the tailbone. As you rock the pelvis into a neutral position, the waist will lift a little bit off the mat. And then we're pressing through the feet. We're coming up to do some marching. So you roll the back, you lift the tail, you pull the knees forward. Think of magnets on the knees being pulled to magnets on the wall in front of you. And then stand into your left foot, press down through both arms, pick up your right knee. And exhale, lower it down. So knee folds with a lifted hip. And now the left. And of course, what's hard about this is trying to keep the pelvis level, even when you go to a one leg support after a double leg support. So it's useful to remember that you can sort of cantilever the free side off the side that's grounded with the leg on the ground, right? So there's muscles that run across your body and diagonally across your body that can support you from underneath and from the top of the body, the front of your body. And every time you push the foot back into the ground, press down through both feet, maybe lift the hips a little bit, re-engage your glutes. Do one more set. Inhale to lift the right leg, exhale to lower it. Press the foot into the ground to feel the support through the right side as you pick up the left leg. Lower that down. And then here, once your both feet are down, lift your hips a little higher, use more glute, and then roll to the inner arm. And let your spine stretch down into the mat. Release and relax it into the surface beneath you. Come all the way down. And now we're rolling up to sitting for spine twist. So coming on up. And let's go ahead and use the magic circle again. Or you could hold weights in your hands out to the side, or just go out to the side with arms straight. But here what we're doing, we're going to take the circle in front of us, press the heel of the hand, and rotate to the right and pulse 1, 2, 3. Lift to center and then to the left. To pulse 1, 2, 3. Feet are flexed, spine is tall. Center here, rotate around your own axis. Try to get the rotation from your waistline. And don't let the circle bring your body around. Make your body bring the circle around. One more set. And last side to the left. Back to center. And put the circle aside. We're laying down on our backs now for Cathy. So this differs from rollover because the legs go up higher. Maybe not initially, but we can start going up with the hips in the air, take the legs low, hike them up, pull them down, and then roll out. So pull the legs in to begin. You could always add the roller under your hips if you want a little bit of an elevation that makes it easier to come up. Reach the legs away from you, push down, coming up and overhead. Lift your hips, try to lift your hips in the air. Do not collapse through your spine. Then lift the legs up, use your glutes. Lower the legs a bit, and then work your spine down, press into your arms. The legs stay glued together. As you stretch out your spine, as you lower it down, look deeply into your abdominal wall. Let's do it again. Exhale over, inhale, lift the legs. Lower them again, and bring your spine down. Try to lower your legs close to your body from a stretch in the back line. Now, as you advance, you would have the option of just going up with a higher leg or open angle at your hips, both on the way up and down. So you would go up and over, lift the legs sooner, and then going down, only lower them as you need to. Of course, as you lower the spine, you'll get reflection of the hip naturally, but keeping the legs at a higher angle away from your body is more load away from the center, which makes that more difficult. Do it again, whichever version works for you. Up. Keep your gaze up so that there's some airflow through your throat. Highly recommend it. And then fold the knees into your chest. Hug it in together. Okay, so now we're coming up and we're going to do a side kick series using the magic circle. So you could also do the series without the magic circle, but we're just trying a new toy here. We have them at the studio here at Swarthmore. Well, the Matchbox is at the studio, but the space here. So we're going to first take the circle between the legs above the ankles. They're sort of at just a little below the swell of the calf here. And then prop yourself up on your elbow, unless you need to lay your arm down to rest your head to protect your neck. So we can take your top hand and press it into the floor. Now we're just beginning. We're going to press the top leg down into the circle and then let it come up. So the circle is like a spring, you know, like a lot of the Pilates equipment. So you get used to working that so that you feel the work both on the way down as you're pressing into the spring, but also on the way up as you're resisting the lift of the spring. So we inhale to press, and then exhale to slowly bring it up. Now from here, we're going to press firmly with your hand into the floor in front of your chest, and then lift both legs up, holding the circle, and then bring them on down. So if you press the hand into the mat, you'll access a little bit of work in the obliques, which will help you tip the pelvis to lift the legs and then to lower it. So we push down, lift the legs, and exhale, reach out through the feet. Keep the legs long. Let's push down again. The legs lift here. You're working through sort of your sideline. You try not to stick your butt out behind you as you do that. So one more, lift here. You're giving your body almost a little like an open banana curve shape through your legs, your hip, and your waist. So now we'll pull the legs in, and now take the legs to the inside of the circle. So again, above the ankles. We never put pressure into a joint when you use the magic circle. So again, you want to stack yourself right like on your IT band, on your side seam. And now here, we're going to push the top leg up into the circle to lengthen it into an oval and then release it back down. It won't go very far, but you're going to lift the leg and exhale and release it. This exercise could be done with a TheraBand loop. So here you'll feel this in your upper outer thigh. Release the leg down. You're pushing down with your bottom leg into the magic circle as you pull the other leg up to keep it stable. One more here. I'm sure you feel that in that glute medius. Now you keep pressing the bottom leg into the circle so it stays on end, and then you bring your top leg on top of it. Lightly press into the handle, and then just a light pressure. Now you pull the bottom leg up, and then exhale, bring it down. Inhale to lift the leg, exhale to lower. Inhale up, exhale down, lift again, and exhale to lower. Do one more. And down you go. Good. And then we're going to pull the circle in, and I'm going to flip over to the other side so I can still see the camera and keep an eye on people. We're all doing a great job, by the way. Thank you for playing with us today. Okay, so we're beginning with the circle between the legs, above the ankle, and then extend it on out. And then you can go down and prop your head up here, top hand into the floor in front of the chest. So we're going to begin, the legs maybe 10, 15 degrees away from the angle of your spine. And just press the top leg down. Exhale, slowly lift. So you press, you pull from the upper inner thigh, and then you release from the upper inner thigh. Push down again, go long with both legs. Stretch across the room, and then slowly resist the pull up of the circle. Press down. Exhale, lift. So this is similar to some of like the second half of the regular mat side kicks, where you're working like one leg up in the air and lower lift, the top leg, the bottom leg, etc. But here we've added some resistance training into the work. And then you press and slowly up. And now really find length in your legs, stabilize your torso here on the sideline, push into your arm, and you lift the legs up, and then exhale and down. Lift, squeeze in the circle, just enough to hold it steady in position. Coming up here, and exhale to lower. Do a couple more. And then one more here. All right, and then we fold the knees in. So we can take the circle and put it on the outside of the legs. Put a little pressure into the circle, extend the legs out and lower it down. Okay, so now the bottom leg pushes down and the top leg presses up. So we try to lift the circle into an oval and then release it back down. So this is all about that upper outer thigh. One of those areas that needs strength, right? We need strength in this glute medius in order to really balance on one leg, which of course happens when you walk continuously, shifting from one leg to the other. Lift here, exhale to lower. Do a couple more, press through both legs. One has to push down as the other's pushing up. Last one like this. And then keep the pressure through the bottom leg. Pull the top leg out and then place it on top of the handle, on top of the circle here. And now we're going to just lightly hold it there and bring the bottom leg up and then down. Inhale to lift, exhale to lower. Here and bring it down. This is one place where you really start to feel the connections. You're not just moving the leg, you're also going to feel it in your deep core. And you can find that if you really gently press into the floor with your upper hand, you can help yourself really feel strongly more connected to your center. Because even though we want like these long, beautiful movements out into space, we want to always keep feeling the connection from the edges of our body, from the ends of our body into our center. And then we can lower the leg down. And then let's just lower the magic circle. And you can press it out of the way. And let's come up to sitting. We've been playing with the teaser with the Fairband. We can also play with the magic circle in a very similar way. So you can go back to using the Fairband, or you can try just taking your feet into the circle and then rocking back. Find your balance point. Maybe the elbows a little wide, and then extend the legs up. Hold your core, and then fold the knees back in. Inhale to lengthen the legs up here, stretch long, and then fold the knees in. Goes down, inhale, push it away. And exhale on down. Good. Now we're going to take the circle in your hands, reach out, lift the legs, squeeze the circle, and you're going to push the legs away from you, curl the tail up, and roll down. You get the heels to connect when your shoulder blades do. Take the arms behind you. So use this like you did in the roll-up. So you lift the arms, lift the head, neck, and chest, and squeeze the circle to feel connected to your core and come up. Bring the circle up towards your feet as you lift the legs. Push the legs away, curl the tail up, roll your spine down, come all the way down and lift the arms up and even behind you. So we bring the arms up again, shoulder blades drop, lift the head, neck, and chest. We're going to think of squeezing the circle and sliding it above your legs, over your knees towards your feet as you lift your feet in the air. And then tuck the tail, start to roll back over your sacrum, push the legs away. The feet are at eye level, and then you come all the way down. Bring the arms overhead. We'll do one more of these full teasers. So coming up, lift the head, neck, and chest, and squeeze the circle from the armpit through the heel of the hand. Come up, balance point here, and then tuck. Keep reaching forward with the arms, press into the circle to feel connected to your external obliques. Come all the way down, heels touch when the blades do. Stretch this behind you. Good job. We'll put the circle to the side and come up to sitting. And then lean back onto your elbows for hip circles. So you want to find a little bit of a pelvic tuck and then pull back through your sacrum, back through your waist, get some traction in here into the low back. And then let's pull here, one knee in, then the other knee in, extend the legs up to the ceiling, and we circle the legs. Inhale over to the right, forward and around. So roll on your sacrum, pull the legs around to the ceiling, and go to the left now. Circle out and down. You can bend the knees, you can use a TheraBand. There's lots of options here as you work through these exercises to find what works for your body on a specific day, at a specific point in the trajectory of your practice. One more, going to the right. Roll the hips a little bit, pull the legs up to the sky, and out to the left. All the way around and up to the ceiling. Pull the knees in, roll up to sitting, and here we're going for swimming. Again, using the magic circle or the roller or nothing at all. Show the magic circle. Bye, so good to have you back in class. Come back again soon.
Is it class next week? With the holiday?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. I'll be here after this one.
Yeah, maybe check with Max. I honestly haven't looked yet.
Okay.
So extend the arms forward. And again, hands on top like we did for the swan. As you push down, lift the chest and then just start lifting the legs. So working from your butt, trying to find a little higher position with your chest than maybe you would do normally with swimming. And then we stretch everything long and lower it down. Child's pose again. Push off the ground, sink back. Stack your spine coming up for seal. All right, so the hands right between the legs, wrap your hands around your ankles, lift your feet, and round your low back down into your abs. So we can open and close the legs from the thighs, from the hip joints to clap 1, 2, 3. We're going to roll back and clap 1 to 3 times with the butt in the air. So roll back, and then come forward to tap again. So you're going to have some energy up through the tail, and actually when you're balanced there on your shoulders, try to lift the tail a little higher, get a little stretch to the waistline. So you have a moment of suspension to clap. That was really good. And going again. And forward. Really press the legs into the arms, the arms into the legs. And we'll just do one more set here. Of course, keeping the head off the ground. We never want to slam the head into the floor when we do these rolling exercises. Okay, so I thought we would just maybe end with a little bit of a plank practice. So I actually brought over some yoga blocks so that if you're not going to be practicing on your hands, you could definitely do a couple different options. So here I have 4 blocks. So one option could be that you could rest your forearms on the blocks and then reach the legs behind you into your plank. So that's a little higher up in the air. A different option could be to have them edge to edge, then you would be lower. It just sort of depends what feels right in your body. And of course, those are easier for people who have issues with their wrist. If you don't, you can go right onto your hands, spreading your hands open wide. So we're going to take one leg at a time back. Now, Pilates, we try to make it a long line from the back of your skull to your shoulders to your heels. Squeeze the legs together and push the floor down so you're going to feel like a lift here up into the armpit, into the serratus, into the connection it has to your upper abdominals. And with every inhale, you're going to let the belly expand towards the floor. With every exhale, you're going to pull the navel up and in. Now, the longer you go, reach back with your heels and forward with your head and your chest. If you do feel in your back, lift your belly up a little bit, maybe even lift your butt slightly until you have more control of your core there. And then let's go ahead softly to your knees. You never want to slam down onto them, and then sit back in your child's pose, extend the arms forward. And then we step the spine coming up. And that will be it for our practice today. Thank you guys for being here, for taking the class online, and I look forward to seeing you next time.